I'm Tom Diegoli from Gorham. I got a collection of poems that just seem to fit together. One of them's only a couple weeks old, and one of them's over 40, so you never can tell. Dad's card. I finally took Dad's card out of my Rolodex today. After a year and a half, I figured it was about time. But for hours, I had to resist the urge to rescue it from the trash and refile it. Change comes hard to me. Bathtub Marys. It's been growing slowly, quietly over the long decades in urban ethnic neighborhoods, one bathroom renovation at a time. The cult of the Bathtub Marys. Old clawfoot tubs, the feet removed, lovingly set on end in Portland cement. The painted plaster statues in the tiny front yards of rundown three-decker tenements, mid beds of red roses and staked tomato plants, all carefully tended by bent old men in faded berets, while their overweight wives in flowered print dresses, silently watching from second-floor porches rock slowly back and forth in the still summer air, secure in their faith. This poem has a story. Many years ago, I found myself living in a little cabin overlooking the Saco River. Wonderful little place to write. I was single and life was good. But there was one rule in my life. You could stop and visit me anytime. But if I was working, don't disturb me. Make yourself a cup of tea, relax a bit. But if I'm working, don't disturb me. Well, my friends, they either ignore it completely or they believe it. But this was someone new, and I'd been dating her for about a month, and the idea for this poem just came on me, and I really, really liked it. And I'd been working at it for about an hour, and she comes in the door, sees me working, makes a cup of tea. I'm tossing rewrites in a pile and working on it. And unbeknownst to me, she's just not going for this idea of someone actually working at art, and being focused on it when I could have been perfectly well able to focus on her. And anyway, I hear this sigh, and she says, "Well, what are you writing about?" And when I'm into something and not really paying attention, I tend to answer very literally and factually. And I said, 2 piles of cow shit. Smash goes the mug in the sink, slam goes the door, and my phone calls were no longer taken. But I got this out of it. Causal immunity. On the edge of the field sits a fairly large manure pile. And in the sky above it, in the wake of a retreating shower, floats a double rainbow. Magic though it may be seen, aside from the view itself, there's nothing special about lying beneath a rainbow. For over by the barn there's a second pile, like the first. The same kinds and numbers of flies buzz around it, and when spread upon the earth, the first will make the corn grow no taller nor faster than the second. There is magic to be found here, maybe in the interplay of sun and rain and earth and time, in the promises of hard work and winter's food that both piles hold. Indeed, it's the piles themselves, and not the rainbow wherein the real magic lies. For I walk away and the rainbow follows me. Now, if it were a thing of magic, truly, would it not have stayed to watch a miracle? Old friendship. However much you ask your eyes, they will not lie to you. There are some lines around them, a few gray hairs here and there. They're no fault of the mirror. Now look at my hands and feet. They're not the ones I remember yet. They're my own. I flex and feel each joint, every bone and muscle, and there are more protests among them than ever. Loud enough they idle my tools, but there's no fault to find here. Not in you, not in me. It's no surprise I can do less with each decade's passing, and I expect to see some evidence of it in the mirror when I look. What use your mirror when I can see you better 20 still without it? Love in the morning. It's always vital to recognize love whenever you encounter it. This morning, love takes the form of 50 pounds of black and white Springer Spaniels standing on my chest, attempting to convince me that the most important thing in all the universe is my getting up right now to let her out to chase the neighbor's cat several laps around our garden. And in this world, a man has got to take love as he finds it. So does the fucking cat. Windmills of my own. How many years ago I watched your boat sail off into the sunset. How much of it my choice I'll never really know. The regret, not at all sudden, gulps another quick breath of air to continue its long swim just below my consciousness. Not the flotsam I'd hoped it to be. Not uncertain now, but in that tired silence when night and river fog lie so heavily upon garden, I pick up my pen to write my way through it. Something then I'd neither thought nor dared to do, an unquiet ghost I'd never put to rest. And if we'd known the reasons or seen the years in front of us, would it have mattered, do you think? Would love alone have been enough? It seems now small uncertainty unmade all possibilities, and almost 40 years have passed, and I see you now still more warm of memory than reality, for it's only in memory that our lives still touch, and that love of you washes up again on my shore. Somewhere on the road to healing, or maybe Route 16. That little plastic dinosaur Dave sent me as a reminder of the pair we each brought to our first day of kindergarten has made himself right home on the dashboard of the Toyota. We figured we might as well name it after him, at least until we get a kitten. I thought he'd like to be a cat. Well, Uncle Arthur did. But sometimes Dave tries to get my attention. Southbound, round in Dead Man's Corner. He slides over, blocking my view of the display. I can almost hear words. Like with the ALS, I can't make any sense out of them, but I tell you this, it has that goddamn laugh of his down well enough to stand all the hairs on the back of my neck right up. You believe what you want. Now you'd think the dog would catch that, and maybe she does. I mean, fuck, she talks to something sitting there in the back seat. I can hear her half of it. You know, Rock, she'd come up front if she had something to say to me. That's just how she is. There's probably a crowd of dear old ghosts in that small back seat with her, but it's not safe to look away from the wheel long enough to be sure who. Not in Pinkham Notch, Dodge and Moose it isn't. I'm keeping an open mind about the whole thing. Rox will sort it all out, no big deal for a dog. Come spring we can get a pair of kittens, and I'll leave it up to her which one we'll name after Dave. He'll be amused. Two more little ones. A painting for Kathleen Moore. We tell ourselves that they live on in our memories, but it's never enough when joys and trials all curdle together with the shock of bad but not unexpected news. I try to hold on to the image of your gentle touch upon my face, waking me in the pre-dawn glow with a primal urgency in your eyes. In grief, I was never young, and I kept your discarded painting of a terrible day, matting and framing it with patient care, not guessing then that Even the worst of your days would in time become my treasure. The art of it. I look at you, and I wish I were a sculptor. In 1,000 years, the perfect curves of your body would still turn heads. I look at you, and I wish I were a painter. Centuries from this moment, your eyes, your smile would still brighten days. I look at you, and I am a poet. And when I am an old man, you will still be ageless, unchanged upon this page in my memory.
Yeah.
Nothing is forever. Thank you.